Hey Muslims, I have a question. Muhammad called God Allah, right? Just as Arabic Christians did long before him. And he prayed with his head to the ground, right? Just as Christians had been doing for centuries before him. Not only that, but the Quran speaks very highly of Mary, whom the Christians had been venerating for centuries before Muhammad came around. So if all of this is true, then what religion was Muhammad? If you say he was a Christian and you want to follow Muhammad, then you should become a Christian. But if you say that he's not a Christian because these are merely superficial similarities between Islam and Christianity, then you'd have to say also that Jesus was definitely not a Muslim, because the similarities between what Jesus practiced and what Muslims practice today are very superficial, and Jesus contradicts the Quran repeatedly throughout his teachings. Hope this helps. God bless.
That is true. Muhammad did call God Allah. God isn't a separate entity from Allah. It's a translation of the word God. It's pretty common knowledge at this point. Muhammad called his God, God, except in Arabic. Arab Christians also say Allah for the same reason. I'm not sure if you're asking what religion was Prophet Muhammad before revelation, but let's talk about both. Before revelation, Muhammad did not associate himself with any religion. Although majority of the pre-Islamic Arabia was polytheist, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, practiced monotheism. At that time, this belief system was called Hanafiya. After revelation, Prophet Muhammad became a Muslim because Allah commanded him to submit to his will, and that's exactly what being a Muslim means. In Quran chapter 6, from verse 162 to 163, Prophet Muhammad declares his submission after receiving revelation, where Allah commands Muhammad to say, "Indeed, my prayer, my sacrifice, my living, and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the world. He has no partner, and this is what I have been commanded, and I am the first of those who submit." The Quran uses the word Muslimin, those who submit. This is the moment where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, became the first Muslim of his revelation, because Quran also calls Jesus and Moses the first Muslim in the context of their own first revelation. I just want to be clear. And no, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would not be considered a Christian. He worshipped the same God as Jesus, but rejected the idea of Jesus being divine. Christians follow Jesus as God. Muhammad followed God directly, like Jesus himself did. So following Muhammad wouldn't make you a Christian, although I can argue that Jesus would be considered a Muslim because he submitted to the will of God, which is exactly what being a Muslim means. He prayed, he fasted, and worshipped to God alone, never himself, and that is pure Islam. John 17:3, Jesus calls the Father the only true God and himself a messenger, not divine. John 5:30 calls for complete surrender, the definition of being a Muslim. The Bible contradicts the Quran because the Bible has been altered over time, but the core of his teaching is fully compatible with Islam. Hope that helps. Assalamu alaikum.